We all have liberty in our lives, and with that comes the age-old question, how to live our lives deliberately. I found that with each decision we make, there's two fundamental ideas, themes, that of struggle and that of settling. For example, if you decided to study for a test, then you would go through the struggle of studying, doing something you don't like so that you can improve and gain more. You learn more and you improve as an individual. Or you can settle with what you probably would get, with where you're at now, and get the grade that you would get normally. This theme isn't only in small decisions like that, but in larger decisions. It's a main theme whatever you do. And I think deciding whether you want to struggle through life or whether you want to settle with where you're at is something you need to determine so that when you make decisions, you can remember which path you want to take in life, which life you want. And that's the purpose of this video, to help you decide which title you want to don, whether you want to be a struggler or whether you want to be a settler. And it all boils down to the individual. There's nothing wrong with being either one of these. It's just who you want to be, who you want to become. Whatever it is, I hope that you know how to make the choice at the end of this video, and that you do take some time to yourself to look at the ceiling, to gaze at the stars, to your own thoughts, to determine which title and which path you want to lead. That's all that matters. Man, you know, a couple of years ago, I didn't really amount to much, right? I got lackluster grades. I got pushed around at school. I had a small group of friends. Yeah, and a lot of low self-confidence, right? And this is all just because, like, I didn't really work to be more than I was. If I'd kept down this route, I think I would have been fine, right? I would have gotten higher education at some standard school. I would have, gone into a 9-to-5, and I think had a pretty normal life, right? In the middle tax bracket, medium income. I got by in the economy, got by in life. I lived each weekend, maybe party, go out with friends, have a family, and then live for Monday each day. It all resets on Monday. And that's what my life would have probably looked like. And it is still a possibility to this day, right? But it was, without a doubt, the most it would have ever been back then. And this is because I never took the time to improve, right? I was just okay with being who I was for whatever reason. Whether it was too much effort to change, whether I was happy with who I was, whether I thought I couldn't change, for whatever reason, I remained as I was. And this is the path of the settler, right? You settle for what you have, who you are, and where you're at. And that's all you do, right? I'm not saying this is a bad path, right? You can label yourself as a settler and go through the motions as a normal, ordinary life, and that's fine for you. If that's what you want, go ahead. By all means, go after it, right? This path has the least, issues. You struggle the least. You have, it's an easier, smoother life, right? You can predict more. You can predict more of your future as a settler because it's standard. So many people have gone through it, right? What this is you just go through higher education, maybe. You don't have to go through higher education. The idea is you don't put 100% effort into improving. You just put whatever effort is necessary for you to get by in life, to remain as you are. The only reason why you'd get a promotion in your job was because over the years you slowly got good because you've just been doing the same thing again and again, right? But you're not actively trying to improve. You're just going through the works, trying to get that paycheck and just live for the weekend. And that's fine if that's how you want to live, right? Like, it's not necessarily bad. Up until 2 years ago, that's how I wanted to live, right? I wanted to just like get a normal job that would pay me well and I would just live. But it's not really me anymore, right? What I'm trying to say is the settler option isn't bad. If you don't want to try to spend your weekdays trying to improve yourself as an individual, if you don't want to try to spend your weekends improving yourself as an individual, you just want to live a normal life, get a decent job, have a family, maybe a house. It really just depends what you want out of life, right? And so if you label yourself as the settler, just think like, hey, can I maintain my current trajectory with this decision? Is this too much effort? And will I be okay if I don't do this? Right? Like, I've got a buddy who doesn't really want to aspire that much into life, right? So he gets lackluster grades just because he can. Why work for more if you can settle for less? That's the mindset of the settler, right? So if you can settle for less, by all means, do so. I am the mother, I am the heart, and in this way we have found God, and in this way we all are God. My baby won't mess around anymore. My baby won't mess around anymore. My little baby, she's saying she's sure this baby won't mess around anymore. Hey baby, look my way. What else is there left to say? Pretty girl, what is there to cry about? Hey baby, need a sec, take a minute, catch your breath. Pretty girl, what is there to cry about? You can take much more, you can drive all night. You won't know what for, but you'll know it's right. You can cut him out. You know, sometimes I'll just look out from here and think life's pretty kick-ass, you know? Whatever path you choose, it's yours. It doesn't matter. Who cares? But the next path, or the second path I wanted to talk about, is that of the struggler, right? It's the opposite of the settler. Who would have guessed? The idea is that you, as the struggler, would work towards bettering yourself. Doesn't matter why, just matters that you do. If you wanted to become a multi-millionaire, then whatever you do to work towards it, that's struggle, right? There's no growth without struggle. I never fully understood the meaning behind that phrase until I actually went through the struggle of growth, right? For there to be growth, there has to be struggle at the start. You have to hate your current circumstance for you to be driven to change, you know? And then to change in it of itself is painful. Your muscles don't grow without you putting in the work to tear them and have them heal, to grow back stronger. And for you to want to grow bigger muscles, you have to not like where you're at right now. You have to have the pain of being where you are. And that is the opposite of the settler. The settler is happy with where they are. So that's what a struggle is, right? It doesn't look like that stupid stuff you see on social media where people will wake up at 5 a.m., get in a nice bath, go for a run, 100 miles, I don't know. It totally depends what you want. You don't have to do that stuff. Those people enjoy it. Those people do it because it helps them grow to become the person they want to be. That person doesn't have to be who you want to be. It's okay to not want what others want. Growing, being a struggler can look like going to a 9-to-5. It can look like having a desk job. But what you do in your free time when you get home is, working on your sales skills, working on your math ability, your programming ability, who cares, so that you are better at your job and you can get a raise. Whatever your goal is out of life. Some people can just want to be better each day. It doesn't matter. Some people can want $100,000 as a salary, and then when they're not at that point, they just work to where they are. They jump job, they ask for promotion, they get raises. Who cares? They just get there. They struggle, they go through the works, and they get there. They make the everyday effort to improve, to achieve where they want to be. And that's what a struggler is. They don't settle for where they are. They strive for more. And if you bear the title of the struggler, if you label yourself as such, then you gotta understand that every time you make a choice that impacts your future, anytime you make a choice that is relevant to this title, you have to think to yourself, is this what I would want as a struggler? Would this make me improve as an individual? Of course, it's more nuanced. Nobody is constantly going to push themselves 100% to improve each day. You're going to have off days. You're going to have days where you just don't want to do it. But, there's an underlying difference between a settler, someone who just goes through the works, lives for the weekend, goes through life without much of a hassle, without much of a struggle, without much growth. And then the person that goes through life chasing whatever they want. They found their passion, they found their drive, and they chase after that. It just depends on the person, and that's what I'm saying. Figure out what kind of person you are. Figure out what you want out of life, and go for it. Figure out your passion. And for some, that looks like waking up at 5 a.m. And for others, that's just sitting around in bed watching Netflix. Like, who cares? It's your life. When I look out at the city, I think of all the millions of people living on this earth, the billions of people living on this earth, and how they all have their own hopes, their goals, their aspirations, and their own wants and desires. And I wonder just how many people are chasing that. And if that's you, go for it. A lot of people have this feeling that they're not enough, this anxiety of not achieving enough in life. I have it. I have this constant feeling of, man, I need to be doing more. I feel like I'm sitting around constantly. And every time I do something that puts myself one step further towards my goal, towards becoming a better person, I feel a little bit less anxious. I feel a bit more proud of myself. I feel more okay about my future. And that has taught me that I'm a struggler. I can't live life passively. I can't go through the motions. I have to take life, by the throat. Just go. I don't know, just figure out what you want out of life. And to do that, it can just look like gazing out at the city or looking at the sunset, staring at the sky, staring at your ceiling, and just thinking, like, why do I have this feeling of emptiness? I don't know. It's a weird feeling to describe. But just go for it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Won't mess around anymore. You deserve much more tonight. My baby won't mess around anymore. My little baby won't mess around anymore. My baby is saying she's sure this baby won't mess around anymore.